The asshole here subreddit and says, "My girlfriend made fun of my speech impediment. I was left broken and now don't know what to do." Hello everyone, as you can tell from the title, I have a speech impediment. I have a starter and I always have ever since I could talk. It was way worse when I was younger, but has got better. I wouldn't stutter unless if I was nervous or overly excited, but normally I would block 1 or 2 times depending on the range of the sentence. That'll have said that I'll get back to the title. Later today around 5 p.m., me and my girlfriend went out for the rest of the day. She was drinking, but I wasn't, as I'm still in university and I'm afraid to get drunk and do something stupid, so I just asked for some soft drinks like a Coke. A few drinks in, she met some people at the pub and got along with them. I just said hello to them and asked about them, but that's really it. She was just watching football on the TV. Anyway, she was joking around with them and then started talking about me. I wasn't really paying attention to any of it until she told them I had a starter. I was shocked by this, and I'd always told her I wasn't comfortable letting people know I have a starter if I don't know them. She then started making fun of my starter, mocking me and telling me to talk so they could hear it. My mind went blank and I didn't know what to do. In primary and secondary school, people made fun of me because of it. I didn't do anything as I was embarrassed and telling on them wouldn't change anything. But it still hurt me a lot and would affect my self-esteem badly. My girlfriend knows of this and knows what I went through, and she said she would always be there for me. Anyways, hearing her make fun of me felt like a stab to the heart. I didn't know what happened to me, but everything went blurry, and it was like I couldn't hear anything except from my girlfriend and the people she met. I managed to ask her, "Are you serious?" Nor she did was laugh and asked if I was going to cry about it. I didn't know what to do. After 5 minutes of thinking to myself to try and regather my thoughts, I paid for my drinks, not hers, and gave the bartender a tip. She said she heard what happened and was sorry I had to go through that. I said thank you and left. Not knowing what to do, I went back to my flat and sat down thinking to myself. I put my phone down and was flooded with notifications from my girlfriend asking where I went and if I was okay. She didn't apologize for what she did. We don't live in the same place, and we've only been together for a little under a year, but we still spent all of our free time together. 10 minutes later, I heard knocking on my door, and it was my girlfriend. She said she was sorry and didn't mean it, and blamed it on the fact that she was drunk. 5 minutes of knocking and apologizing, she realized that I wasn't going to reply back or even open the door, so she left. She knew I was there as my neighbor, who I was good friends with. Let her know I looked upset and that she should check up on me. It's now midnight. I still don't know what to do with myself. She keeps flooding my phone with missed calls, voicemails, and texts saying how she regrets making fun of me. I want to be able to forgive her as I normally did back in school, but this time I couldn't. This time I felt betrayed and felt like I was stabbed in the heart by the one person who would never make fun of me. I still care about her and still love her, but I don't think I can ever forgive her, and now realize how she can make fun of me whenever she wants if we get into an argument. Now that she has done this, I'm hurt by this, but at the same time, I don't want to break up, but will never be able to. Forgive her. I don't think she has told anyone about this, as no one else has texted me. I'm laying in my bed making this post and trying to cry myself to sleep. I don't know what to do, and I'm seeking advice. Thank you for reading. Now to me, that's simply not someone that loves you, who's willing to take the piss out of you. It lasts out of people she just met drunk or not. That's just inexcusable and unforgivable to me. How do you look at this person in the eyes in the same way again, knowing what they've done to you like that? And OP, you simply deserve better. Move on from her. It'll take time for sure, but that's what you need to do in my opinion. Elephant No says, stay away, don't respond, don't explain. Don't let her try to excuse it. Alcohol doesn't make someone humiliate someone else they respect. You have turned the page, and not only do you owe her zero explanation, you'll be exhibiting weakness to allow her any further reciprocated contact with you. If you have things at her place you need back, send a friend. If you give an inch to understanding on this, or an inch to hearing her out on this, you lose. This is how you maintain, and in fact, grow your self-respect. I'm sorry it happened, but you're responding to it like a real boss. You'll likely lie to a friend about you and why you two are broken up. Let her, a friend you both have who believe her can have her. Sometimes it takes something like this to see where you really stand with a person or group. Miyaki says, girl, she regrets making fun of you. But in fact, that a decent, caring, loving girlfriend would never go there in the first place. This girl is an entitled bitch, and honestly, you could never trust her somewhere along the path of life. Not knife you in the back, again, but possibly your weakest moments weren't the most inappropriate time. You don't need to be living with fear in your head or her humiliating you again at any given time. Walk away, don't look back, and don't let this little brat's immaturity and, quite frankly, appalling behavior spoil your chances of making good, meaningful, and dependable friendships elsewhere. Screw her. Complete Design says, not the arsehole. I'm so sorry, that was cruel and awful. Do not keep dating someone who can treat you like that so easily. You deserve better. She just showed you her true colors. Dump her and love and respect yourself. One way I would think about it is, imagine if you stay with her and someday have kids with her and one has a stutter. Is that the kind of person you want raising your kids? I'm not saying you even want kids, but sheesh. Absolutely fucking not. She's no good. One more comment from Flashy Weekend 9499 who says, not the arsehole. I've had the same speech impediment as you, and while it has improved significantly, it sometimes resurfaces in certain situations. Just as you've described, you are not less than anyone else. In fact, you have more courage than most. What might be a routine interaction for others is for you a battle with yourself that you choose to face. You could easily stay home, isolating yourself because of your impediment, but you don't. You refuse to let it become a barrier to achieving your goals. That determination shows you are not less than anyone. It shows you deserve respect because you accomplish more than many who have fewer challenges. Your partner should understand this and recognize the courage you show in every interaction, along with the effort that you put into addressing your impediment and facing the awkward situations it might bring. If anyone makes funny, it's a reflection of their own insecurities, not a measure of your worth. Don't let them make you feel like you are less or like you're someone to be ridiculed. Don't allow your impediment to hold you back from doing the things you want to do. Out of shame, keep your head up. You deserve it. Your partner, on the other hand, does not, because failing to understand and respect the struggle and courage of someone with any kind of impediment is not the mark of a good person. So sometime later, OP came in with an update and said, hello again. I didn't think I'll be back here so soon, but a lot of people wanted an update and a lot has happened today. For any of you asked, yes, I've broken up with her. But before I get on with the update, I thought I'd clear up some stuff that people mentioned in the comments. By the way, thank you for all the support you guys gave. I truly appreciate it, so thank you so much. Firstly, I've never assaulted my now ex-girlfriend before and never planned on doing so. I don't know how someone thought that. Secondly, yes, I did go to speech therapy before when I was young. Update, waking up today, I didn't know what to do. I was still in shock that my girlfriend did that. I picked up my phone and checked the previous post I made. I was truly thankful for all the people showing support. I took some of your advice and ignored all of her texts, missed calls, and voicemails. I don't think she has told any of my family or friends of what happened, because no one has texted me about it, or she has and has completely lied to them. I started my day normally and tried to ignore all of my emotions for her. I worked part-time at a tailor shop and had requested more time. I still had some time off of university. Unfortunately, today I had work today. I didn't know if I was going to be able to go, but I decided I needed a distraction, so went. As soon as I walked into the back, everyone knew something was wrong. This is because my eyes had turned red from all the crying and I had done in the morning, and from last night. I know it's embarrassing. I told them everything was okay and it was probably just my eyes being irritated. They said it's not that, as I was a very joyful, happy, and innocent person. Word spread around about something wrong with me until it reached my boss. It was a nice person who I considered a close friend. He asked me what was wrong, but I told him nothing. He knew I was lying, as he said I am always a truthful person and a bad liar. I said if I didn't tell them the truth, then I should go home and give myself some time to think. I didn't want to tell him what happened, as I knew I would break down crying, so I just said I was going through some personal issues. He said that whatever it is I'm going through has affected me badly and still sent me home. On my way home, I walked into a shop. I don't know why, but I just did. I looked at the alcohol aisle and looked through all the drinks, thinking to myself, I needed a break from reality, since I had never drank before and I didn't know what to do. After 5 minutes, something switched on inside of me and thought I didn't need the alcohol, so I walked back out. This is when one of the problems occurred. I remembered how I left my jacket in the pub I was in last night since I stormed out so fast. I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to be reminded of the humiliation I went through and thought people would recognize me in there. I had my phone and wallet as those were in my trouser pocket. I decided to man up and go to the pub. I went in and couldn't see it at first. My eyes were drawn to the area it happened, and I started tearing up. I wiped the tears and asked the bartender if she had my jacket. Coincidentally, it was the same woman from last night and said yes and gave it to me. Before I could leave, she told me what my girlfriend was doing when I left. When I heard her just turn the knife she had already stabbed me with. She told me my girlfriend kept making fun of my starter, and when she realized I left, she realized what she had done and left. As she left, the new friend even said sucks to be that guy. Anyways, walking into my flat complex, greeted by the receptionist who asked if I was okay. Again, because of my eyes being red, I said everything was fine. She then brought up my girlfriend, which then I started tearing up again and walked up into my flat. As soon as I walked in, I fell onto my knees and broke down. Again, I know, embarrassing. Remember some of the comments people told me I decided to text my girlfriend. I keep this part short as this post is already long enough. I texted her saying I could never forgive her what she has done to me. Oh, she has betrayed me, humiliated me, and made fun of my insecurities. I told her saying not to contact me. Don't come back to my flat. I then said we are done, and if she wanted to even have the chance of just being friends, then she would respect my decision. I then told her that the stuff she had at my flat will be in the reception waiting for you, and asked if she could bring my stuff to the reception as well. A few comments told me to send her this, and so I did. I told her if she had a problem with it, then cry about it. Since she said that to me and clicked send, before I got a chance to block her, she immediately responded. I don't know how she typed that fast, but something she said caught my eyes. She said I was drunk and couldn't control myself. That flipped the switch in me. All I could feel was pain and anger. I went off on one and told her how I couldn't control my stutter. And she knew that. She still made fun of my biggest insecurity. She even told me to say something so I could humiliate myself. When she knew I was hurt by this and still laughed, she knew everything I went through. All the childhood pain, all the bullying I went through. She even knew how I had suicidal thoughts as a child. I didn't say this in the first part because of embarrassment, as I was ashamed. To finish all of it, I told her to make fun of me all you want now, as she was dead to me. I sent that and blocked her instantly. I chucked my phone across the room and cried for the next half an hour. I stopped as one of my coworkers, who I would say was one of my closest and bestest friends, knocked on my door. I let her in, and she saw I was crying and just hugged me and sat me down. I told her everything of what happened and cried on her shoulders. For any of you asked, I had not had any intimate relations with her. She asked if there was anything she could do. Since I trusted her, I asked her if she could get me some time off work. She instantly said yes and said anything else. I took some time thinking about this since she knew most of my friends. If she could tell them what happened, as I couldn't bring myself to do so. After this, and when she left, I took all of my excess stuff to the reception and told a receptionist if she could not let my ex-girlfriend up anymore. She said of course and said if you needed me, I'm here. I thanked her and left. After this had happened, my phone blew up from all of my friends, and I'm sorry. But I had to go through all this. I told them all the same stuff and said it's okay, but I'm still hurt and need time to recover. I thought it was all over until the receptionist knocked on my door and told me that my ex-best friend collected her stuff, but didn't drop mine off, and told me that if I wanted my stuff, then she would meet me at a cafe tomorrow at 4 p.m., as I couldn't break up with her over text. I was annoyed about this and went to my room. Most of the stuff at her house wasn't important, but one thing was a watch. There was my granddad's watch, which he gave to me just days after he died. I took care of that watch, and now my ex-girlfriend had it, and the only way I could get it back is if I met up with her. I didn't know what to do, and I'm still in bed, writing this all up and crying, because one thing my granddad gave was in the hands of the person who betrayed me. Should I meet up with her? Hey, I have 2 top comments on this one. Late Champion says, I don't know which country you're from, but can you threaten like something, like small claims for the watch? I don't think you could call the police. And unless the watch has monetary value, I'm certain even small claims would work. Why would you even leave it at her place anyway? That's for me. I don't give in to blackmail, and I wouldn't meet up with her. It's really vulnerable, and I don't want her to use that to make you feel guilty. Opie says from the UK, and I left it there because at the time he was my girlfriend, and I trusted her. Because of Blue says, send one of your friends. I'll gladly do that for one of my friends. I'm probably coming way hot, but I'm sure your boys can meet her there and get the watch back. So she's deciding to pull this power move of holding your stuff hostage or granddad's watch hostage to get you to talk with her. Yeah, like that's actually going to work. I kind of like the suggestion of your friend going along to pick it up, but she might not hand over that watch. I'd be tempted, which, I can't speak for OP, but for myself, I'd be tempted to go in there. Stand in front of her and say, do you have that watch? Hand it over to me, or any of my stuff hand it over to me, and then I'll talk to you. Get it, walk out. Now that I piss off, be done with it. Secondly, let me embarrassed for how you feel and how you let out your emotions. We all let them out in different ways. I would say I'm a pretty emotional person as well. Especially as I get older, I find myself cryogut. All sorts of little things, like I'm reading a story and like two people coming back together, making a connection. I'm off. Let me tell you. And sometimes I just feel like it lets the pressure off sometimes. Like you feel like it build up. And for example, when I was dealing with my parents' stuff and, a lot of the time I was able to deal with things absolutely fine, but then once in a while, something would come up and the floodgates would open, and it just felt like it relieved a lot of stress. So never be ashamed to be your emotions. It doesn't make you any less of a man. But now I'm going to turn this one to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below, and let's move on to another story. Now someone sent me this one from the Neighbors from Hell subreddit. Isn't excited already, let me tell you. From Possible Quantity 95, who says, we told you before not to park in front of our house. God, I'm such an idiot. So just got into a mild confrontation with my direct neighbor to my left. Literally share the same space as our home share steps. I stay on the street where people occasionally use objects, trash cans, recycle bins, etc. The safe parking spots. The car was there before I had left to run some errands. When I returned, the space was free, so I parked. As I'm going into my house, my neighbor pulls up, rolls his window down and says, are you about to move your car? I say no. He then says, we told you about this before, about parking in our spot. I walked right up to his window and told him this is a public street. Normally when you want to save space, you put your recycle bin out. You didn't, so I parked there. He then goes on and on about how since I want to play games, he's going to start playing games too, and park down the street. At this point, I'm calling for my father to come out, who's waiting for me in the kitchen. He says, oh, now you want to call your dad, as he's getting out. He then goes into his house and complains to his sister about the parking spot. So she also comes out. This is my first meeting with her. To my surprise, she agreed with me. It says you're free to park anywhere on the street you choose to. This is my first time meeting you, and you seem like a nice person. I don't want to start any drama with you since you live right next door. I talked to my brother. We've just been going through a lot with the death in the family, and I apologize for his behavior. Welcome to the neighborhood. I called her. I was sorry for a loss and no worries. I'm still shaking up though. I felt like this was going to end bad. God, I hope I never have to talk to that a-hole again. Trying to tell me where I can and can't park on a public street. What's wrong with people? Welcome to the neighborhood, my ass. All that over a public parking space. Ridiculous. Update, this is to have been overly friendly to me now, ever since. Even saying good morning when she sees me. Go figure. Yes, they were used to having it their way. Not anymore. This one left me with mixed emotions. I was like, what the hell happened there? What happened in the middle? I was expecting it to really explode, but the sister came out. Was she being fake and nice? That's what I'm trying to work out. Was she being genuine with the loss of the family? And that's why they're struggling at the moment. This new word says at least one of them seems nice, which I hope he replied to then. It was an act, because she was the one who complained about my car the first time. He said something to me about it when I first moved in a week ago. When I moved my car, she moved her car with a minute of leaving me. She just knew she didn't have a leg to stand on. She's smart, I'll give her that, just not smart enough to realize I already knew which car was hers. They both don't want me parking there. Well, tough shit. Ooh, so that suggested it is fake. Nice. Don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna roll out. There's a chance that she was being genuine. She absolutely might be just being genuine. You know, OP gave that update about sister has been overly friendly since then. Is it just me, or does it feel like she's just buying her time? Something's gonna go down soon. Maybe that's just my neighbor brain kick it in. Oh dear me, but now I'm gonna turn this one to you guys. What about you? Have you ever had your very own nightmare neighbor? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. But just a huge thank you from the bottom of my heart for getting involved in today's stories. Your love, your support, your time always means the absolute world to me. So thank you so much for being involved, truly. It means the absolute world. Thank you, and I will see you in the next one. Take care and much love.